Good morning. Sonny is a Saddlebred cross. I don't know what he's mixed with, but he's about 10 years old. He's very pushy. All right, guys, we're on our second house call, same location, different horse, and this is a horse named Sonny who's has a hard time getting in the trailer. He's not very consistent with it. As you can see, he's pretty reactive this morning. We've got some storms overhead, and he's just feeling his oats, that's for sure. He's even kicked almost like he did right there. He just kicked the fence. The reason I'm off the fence and not in there with him right now is so I can talk to you a little bit without feeling like I'm in danger. So when I get inside the round pen, I'm going to be focused solely on him. Now, for this second trailer loading from the round pen, wow. From this, yeah, he's got it out for me. This second trailer loading from the round pen, just kind of keeping an eye on him anyway. I feel like I'm still not far enough away. I'm going to use a flag today. Now, Sonny is reactive to the flag. He doesn't like the flag. He doesn't like it around his head. I'm going to use the flag as pressure and get him to work on getting in the trailer more comfortably. So we're just going to go through this session. Again, after this session, or tomorrow or something, we're going to work on trailer loading with the halter and lead rope. I think you should trailer load every horse with the halter and lead rope, because that's how you're going to be doing it when you're out on wherever you're going to trailer. You're not going to be doing it. You're not going to be doing it freestyle or at liberty, because you already you're connected to them some way in most cases. If he's so good that he can get in the trailer at liberty off the trail, then obviously you don't have a trailer loading problem. So that's not going to be an issue. But we're going to work through this round penning trailer loading today. Now, if those had been panels that weren't 7 Peaks panels, he would have put a good dent in them, but those are 7 Peaks panels and they didn't even do anything to them when he kicked it. Little shout out to 7 Peaks. Okay, let's start sending them around him, and like I said, I'm going to use this flag. It's not going to take a lot. Now I'm going to desensitize him a little bit with this flag as well. When I sensitize a horse with the flag, get them to move off of pressure from the flag, there's a funny thing that starts to happen. When you use the correct sequence of cues, your flag becomes like almost uninteresting to them. They don't feel reactive to it. They just respond to it. So actually, when you're asking a horse to move with flag pressure, they will learn to not be afraid of that flag, because this flag means something to them. It means move your feet, and depending on the cue that I give, determines what he does. Okay, so I'm going to put some pressure on him away from the trailer. And I just want to show that you can use a flag, or you can use a stick and string. You could even use a lunge whip. I like to use a stick and string for various reasons over a lunge whip. And now the only downside to the flag is it's harder for me to reach him. We saw earlier how he was kicking out and kicked the panels as I was talking. That could be a little bit of an issue as I start to ask him to get in the trailer, but I'm going to be careful and make sure that I don't feel like I'm in danger of being kicked. This flag only gives me about 3.5 feet, almost 4 feet. I think it's about 3.5 feet in length, while the stick and string will give me almost 10 feet. Pressure. Oh. I'm gonna be okay with him following me here. Now his owner's been doing some ground work with him and round pinning, and so he's pretty decent. But you can see he's being real reactive to a neighbor. He's not paying attention to me. This is the definition of high strung for you right here. Saddlebred is definitely coming out in him. I'm just gonna get him to focus a little bit more on me, see if I can get him to turn into me. There's literally just a neighbor that walked around the corner, and that bothered him quite a bit. He's pretty certain there's a monster around the corner, actually a predator around the corner. Oh. Just gorgeous horse. Get his attention. Now, when I get him to follow towards me, I'm going to keep an eye on him. I do not want to turn my back fully to him and be blind to him. Because you never know when a horse might run by and get frisky and kick out as they run by. He's got to be real careful, especially how much he demonstrated that he likes to kick out when he's feeling fresh. Out of all the benefits that round penning can provide, including seeing how athletic they are, seeing how reactive they are, seeing if they're sure-footed, seeing if they have any soundness issues, seeing if they're dull, do they respond to you, or are they totally oblivious to your presence in the round pen? Another thing that's really helpful in round penning is you can get those wiggles out. You can really move them around, and you can go a number of miles at a lope. Your horse can go a number of miles at a lope and you don't have to move very much. So if your horse needs to get some energy out, a round pen is a great place to do that. I'm going to go ahead and approach him. Now when I approach him with this flag, I'm going to make sure the flag's back here behind me. I'm not trying to hide him. I'll hide the flag from him. Not trying to hide the flag from him, but I want to approach him in a non-threatening form. And it literally might be the child that he's afraid of, just that smaller human that he's kind of freaking out about. And make him pay attention to me right here. If he wants to move away. Just remind him that I'm here so he doesn't run me over. That's a little better. He's going to get nice and wet today. He's working on turning in towards me to change directions. Oh, good boy. There, his energy's starting to come down a little bit. Whenever you have a horse that comes off of the round pen, like right here, he comes off right here, you want to start to put pressure on him as just before he's going to come off. So I know it's going to happen here. So pressure, pressure. That was a little better. I'm going to put pressure on him. That's the best way I've found to get them to follow the round pin. Is just put pressure on them when they come off, release it when they go on. Now, there's only one reason he's coming off the round pin. It's because he's nervous about on that side. But that's still, eventually, like if I'm round pinning him, if this were strictly a round pinning session, I'd be doing a lot of focus on getting him to relax and move along the round pin. Follow that fence all the way around. Whoa. Catch his attention. Good boy. Send him the other way. This is one of the reasons people like saddlebreds and Arabians, because they are so high-spirited. And they are truly gorgeous when they have that high spirit. And a lot of saddlebreds will lift their tails up, have that high head, just look gorgeous like he does. And people just love that energy. They love that, the spirit of the horse. And it's very shown very clearly in saddlebreds and Arabians, those high-spirited horses. He's licking and chewing a little. So as you can tell, I'm not trying to get him on the trailer right now. I'm just trying to get him to relax a little bit. Now over here, he has a tendency to look over the fence, so I'm going to get behind him more and drive him forward. Here, I drive at his shoulders. Over here, drive towards his butt. Drive at his shoulders, then shift, drive towards his butt. Oh. Got to get him listening to me a little bit more here. He's so worried about everything outside of the round pen, but he's not listening to me enough yet. I'll let him trot, let him slow down as long as he's relaxed. Here, pressure and release. That was better. He stayed on the fence line much better there. He still came off a little bit on that backside. Pressure. There, that's much better. Still come off there. He's licking and chewing. Whoa. Every time he starts to lose attention from me, then I'm going to cluck and wave my flag. Good boy. Now he's not coming off with his shoulder, but let's see if I can point, send him the other way. Good boy. Leave him alone. Whenever my horse does the right thing in the round pen by turning towards me and changing directions, I don't want to put a lot of pressure on him right in that moment. I want to just ease him into the change of direction. So I want him to feel like he did the right thing, not that he did the wrong thing. And if I put too much pressure on him when he changes to the inside and goes the other way, he's going to feel like he did the wrong thing. And you can see he's starting to look inside that trailer. He's more bothered on his left eye than he is on the right. He's stepping over that ramp much easier. That was closer to the side. Drive. Oh. Now let's see if I can weave back and forth and get him to follow me. One thing at a time. Circle towards his hip. His attention. He's very distracted. Watch his attention. I want him thinking about me. He's so worried about what's outside the round pen that he keeps losing attention. Yeah. There, he lowered his head, started licking and chewing. I'm just going to rub on him for a second, if I can. Maybe from this position will be a little easier because he's not having to look behind him at what he's worried about. Good boy. If he takes a step forward towards me, I'm going to try to release that pressure and move away from him. Here I'm circling towards his hip. Now I'm moving away, circle towards his hip, move away. And another challenge he has is I'm trying to get him to follow me around, but I have this flag in my hand. So he's got lots of stuff going on with him. He's not so sure about following me around with that flag. And he's a horse that's sensitive around his head, so it's not real easy for me to get up here and rub on his face. It's a lot easier to do it with a halter. Do a little approach and retreat. Approach, retreat, retreat. In a way, I'm trying to quit him before he quits me. If he gets a little bothered by it, I'll step away. He's sure not a fan of being touched on the face, is he? That's a little better. I'm going to take a wind there. Now, he's thinking about spooking right there, so I have to be careful, not let him spook and run me over. Even if I can get him to shift his feet around and yield those hindquarters, we're doing pretty good. See him step in front with his right hind. Good boy. Step in front with his left hind. Good boy. He sure is a worried guy, isn't he?
Never seen him quite like that.
Good boy. I like he's lowering his head, licking some. Yeah, he's thinking about following me around, but he still keeps being distracted by the neighbors, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't have it any other way. Whatever condition I'm working my horse under, I want to just work with my horse through that condition, unless it's a super dangerous situation. But if he's bothered by something, I should be okay with that because he needs to work through that anyway. Yeah, he needs to learn to focus on me. Is it harder to get him to focus on me? What's the easiest place to get him to focus on me? Like a 6-foot tall round pen that has it's totally covered. So he can't see over, he can't see through it. So he only has one option, focus on me, unless he gets in his head. So a lot of guys will start horses in a round pen like that. I don't mind starting them in round pens where they can see a lot of stuff, because they're gonna have to get used to focusing on me even though there's distractions anyway. Might as well start from day one. Get him to disengage the hindquarters. Then walk forward. So as he disengages the hindquarters and walks forward, he's doing a forward bend. Like that. Beautiful. So in the saddle, I teach people how to forward bend, and it starts right here. Forward bending is probably the most important exercise I think you can do with a horse, because you're teaching them to disengage the hindquarters and move forward at the same time. It's a complete relaxation exercise. If you feel stiffness in the saddle or on the ground, if he's not yielding, disengaging the hindquarters, like right here, there's a disengage. So he should be stepping underneath himself with that left hind. That was very good. Then coming forward. That motion right there, if you can get it in the saddle, then you can basically help him through anything he's worried about. He's in a little better mindset right now.
Is this Sonny?
No, it's just like foam. Yeah, it's from his toothpaste this morning. I'm just going with him and seeing if I can stick with his head. He's so bothered being touched on the head. I'm just going to go with him right here. Yeah, swishing his tail. He has a lot of opinions, doesn't he? There, that's a little better. Now let's see if I can get him to follow me. Disengage the hindquarters. That's a little better. Now I'm moving my flag in front of me, so it's a little less aggressive towards him. I just want to be less intimidating, I guess. He needs lots of this, mostly with a halter on. Okay, I like his mindset. He's not following me all the way around the round pen, but I think this is a good time to start working on getting on the trailer. So I'm going to go ahead and point, send him. And if he will walk through this, I'll let him walk. Let him check it out over there. Oh. That was a great turn to the inside. Good boy. Now I'm going to start giving them the cue to get on. So I'm going to wiggle my fingers up here, raise my hand, wiggle my fingers. And remember, you can give whatever cue you want. You can do a wave. You can do a let's go. You can do this. It doesn't matter. But I'm just going to raise my hand, wiggle my fingers. And then say, Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Right there. He started to look towards the trailer, release my pressure. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Right there. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good. Now, I could teach each horse the cue on, just on, without saying his name. But if you want to get into the high-level Liberty work and you want to work with a bunch of different horses at the same time, like Dan James or somebody that amazing, then you want to say their name and then say the cue. So that way each one knows it's their cue. They recognize that as their cue. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Right there. Good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. He's distracted. Right there. Good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. Sonny, on. Good boy. Sonny, on. Good boy. I like he's licking and chewing. Even though he's got some distractions, he's still starting to pay attention to me and the trailer. Sonny, on. Good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. Release my pressure. Way back here. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. So right from the start, I'm just going to go ahead and move him right to left. Good boy. Instead of moving him all the way around the round pen, I'm just moving him right to left and I'm going to cut him off here. Partly it's because he's just exhausted himself. He's dripping wet. And partly the flag, I think, it can be a real useful tool to get him to stop right to left and put pressure on him so he wants to go forward. Sonny, on. Sonny, good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. Now I'm okay if he steps off. I'm going to send him around. He was so distracted by the neighbor that he didn't even realize he'd been filmed. All of a sudden he's like, who's that? Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. Yeah, huh? His energy has changed. He's starting to relax a lot more. I always tell people it's okay to let your horse sweat it out some. If your horse gets nice and sweaty, there's no problem with that. The only challenge that could come up is if your horse strains a ligament or strains or bruises a joint or something if they're pounding a lot through the sand or on a hard surface. So you have to be careful about that. But the fact that he's sweating, that's not a bad thing. I do want to be careful about running too much in deeper sand. Sonny, on. Good boy. But a really good sweat can cure a lot of issues with horses. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. He really doesn't want to put those back feet on there. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Keep my pressure. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. I probably should have released when he had all 4 feet on there. I missed that. Oh. Sonny, on. 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 Good boy. Nope. On. Sonny, on. Right now I'm really focusing on the direction that he's going. If he starts going the right direction, I'm going to release my pressure. Good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, good boy. Sonny, good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Pressure, release. Good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. On. On. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Just let him check out the trailer. Remember, if he starts to approach the trailer, if he gets curious about the trailer and wants to sniff it, lick it, I'm going to release that pressure. Curiosity is really one of the biggest keys to learning. If he'll get curious about it, he's going to lose his fear of it, over it. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. On. There's a step. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. I like that he turned to the inside there. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Little more. Sonny, on. Boy. I'm going to go ahead and back him off. Sonny, off. Sonny, off. Now send him back on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. I like that. Looking more to the center. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Now I'm waiting for a step. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Build my pressure. Sonny, on right there. Ask him again. Sonny, on. Good boy. Just like when I trailer load with the halter on, if I can help it, if I can do this, I'm going to back him up off the trailer before I get him all the way on. Sonny, off. Sonny, off. Sonny, off. Send him around. Even though he turned away from me, I'm just going to send him. Now I might move his feet around. That was the best he stayed along the fence line so far. Whoa. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. On. Sonny, on. Good boy. Sonny, on. Good boy. He's thinking about stepping in there. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. Now I really like that. I'm going to release my pressure. Even though he took a couple little steps back with his hind feet, he's still squared up a little bit better. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. That's his first step inside. Got all 4 feet on the ramp. Well, 3 feet on the ramp, 1 inside the trailer. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Sonny, on. Good boy. basically 2 feet on the floor. I'm gonna give him a nice break right there, let him check it all out.